a game that did go under that we didn't expect, but BMAC did. Ohio State and Oregon, just barely, but it hit. And the big headline here is that Oregon goes on the road, upsets the Buckeyes. C.J. Verdell rushes for 2 touchdowns, had a third through the air, 3 total touchdowns this game for Oregon. They come to Columbus and knock off the Buckeyes. They had won 23 straight at home. They hadn't lost at home in 4 years since 2017 when Baker Mayfield planted a flag at midfield for Oklahoma. Now there's video out there that a rubber duck was planted at the Big O there at Ohio Stadium, a.k.a. the shoe. So a little bit of trolling there on the part of Oregon. We're not sure who put the rubber duck, quack, quack, in the middle of the Big
small,
O. But hey, there it is.
Yes, I love it.
A little bitter, Hakeem.
I can tell you this much. The Pac-12, their trolling skills is top-notch. We saw what UCLA did last week to LSU when they trolled LSU and Coach Orgeron. And now leaving some property there at the shoe. I love what they're doing, Pac-12. You know what? It's okay because guess what? So many people were laughing at the Pac-12 when they got playoff time. No one was talking about the Pac-12. So you know what, Pac-12? It's okay. Yeah, have a little fun, right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
football's supposed to be fun.
They made a statement. They made a statement last week when UCLA beat LSU. Barrett, your reaction here, because honestly, I couldn't believe that this could happen because coming in, we thought maybe, okay, Oregon's going to have a sleepy start. It's 9 a.m. Pacific time. Kayvon Thibodeau on the sideline. He's injured, their best player, the projected #1 overall pick. And then it's like they took the same game plan that Minnesota had with Mo Ibrahim, rushed for nearly 200 yards, couple touchdowns, and C.J. Verdell, 3 total touchdowns in this one, and they come out victorious.
Sometimes the simplest solution is the best one. And what do we know about Ohio State? They are talented up front on defense, but they are not well coached up front on defense. They play as individuals. They don't play as a team. Mohamed Ibrahim blew that up last week until he got hurt. We saw it all the time last year. We saw it again from Oregon. They are not fundamentally sound defensively up front, and that means they're going to get in games like this where they have to score 40, 45, 50 points. That's just the nature of the way that this team is built by Coach Ryan Day. Until that changes, then Ohio State's not a national championship caliber team, and right now, this is a trend. This is not a one-off. This is not a two-off after 2 games this year. This is the way Ohio State is built, and it's not going to work at an elite level.
So is this the best game that Oregon has played, or will Oregon get better? Because I believe that if you put Kayvon Thibodeau, and don't forget Justin Flo, super talented linebacker for the Ducks, also missing this game. You're talking about 2 of the 4 best players on Oregon's defense out. Of course, you're going to see nearly 1,000 yards passing from C.J. Stroud. So if that defense then gets even better, and if that offense continues to improve a little bit, then this is a launch pad for Oregon. Or did Oregon play its best game? Did we just see Oregon play above its head, and it is going to have trouble replicating that on a week-to-week basis? That is the challenge for the Ducks. Mario Cristobal gets his teams together to watch the national championship game, to watch big college football playoff games with this should be us. This is what it takes to compete for national championships as sort of the motivating factor and the rah-rah speech around that. Well, what it really takes to get there is a week-to-week consistency. So being able to follow this up with what I expect will be better play on the defensive side, but more of the same on the offensive side, I think it's going to become huge. Getting through the division should be okay, but in that 9-game Pac-12 schedule, you're going to catch some tough out-of-division games. The Pac-12 South is absolutely loaded for ranked teams right now. So listen, Ohio State is going to have much, much better results than it had against Oregon, and I still think will win the Big Ten. But for Oregon, what it has now with that huge win is a real opportunity to rewrite the narrative around Oregon football and Pac-12 football.
BMAC, you made the point that Ohio State needs Oregon to run the table. They've got 2 more ranked teams on their schedule rest of way. Well, here we are in week 2. We're already talking about them facing UCLA and Utah. We don't know how good both those teams are going to be rest of way. We saw what UCLA did last week against LSU. They're certainly off to a great start. What Chip had to say in terms of consistency, is this a team you see being consistent? Joe Moorhead running the offense, certainly a great game plan today. Mario Cristobal getting his kids ready for a big game on the road.
Yeah, I do believe this team can be consistent. And the reason why I feel that way, when you look at their football DNA, Mario Cristobal has done a real good job in recruiting big bodies that are athletic, that play mean-type football. We saw that on the offensive line today in the trenches. And granted, they will get better. You talked about their 2 top players on the defensive end not suiting up today, and they made timely plays. They gave up a lot of plays, but they made big-time critical plays. A few fourth down stops, that huge interception in the fourth quarter. They played what I call elbow defense. They bend, but they didn't break. So I think that has to be the calling card until they get fully healthy on the defensive side. And I love Anthony Brown. He played real smart football today. And when he's playing to that level, they have a shot. And now you just have to look at the Pac-12. I mean, the Pac-12 in the beginning of the season, before the season kicked off, to say the least, no one really gave them a shot at being a competitive conference. Right now, when you look at the ranked teams, when you look at how they've started the season, and not to mention what we're seeing right now currently with Colorado and Texas A&M, this is a conference that has really improved drastically over what we've seen over the last few years.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to Emory Hunt, who took the Ducks plus the 14.5 in that game, as the Ducks didn't even need it, as they win by a touchdown. Some costly mistakes late. Of course, C.J. Stroud throwing an interception, but he threw for nearly 500 yards in this game. The game's not on him. It's on the defense. Kerry Coombs, as we talked about, they're going to have to clean that up if they're going to have any chance at running the table rest of way, as they fall to 1-1.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.